Hey everybody, just pulling up my Facebook page. Hopped on a couple minutes early tonight because I think this is going to be a little bit of a longer one. I got out my old towel again because after last night's with the shimmer crimson and glitter all over it, my little towel needs to be washed. Otherwise I'll end up getting red glitter on everything else that I do. Because that's how glitter goes. Okay. So the one I'm going to do tonight is the C-size transfer, the Botanicals one. Heaven. All this out the way. Okay. And this is the one that, it's not new, so it was in the last catalog, but it's continuing on. Part of the Botanicals Collection. I've been wanting to do it. So hopefully, Facebook has been going so slow. Let's see. I can't see myself to see if I'm cut off in the picture again or what. So this is the C-size, which is the 12 by 18. And this is the Sylvie board, which is the 12 by 18. The Aiden boards are the one that are magnetic. These ones are not magnetic. And the frame you can see is a little bit different. It's a smaller frame that's not as wide, not as, I guess, fancy looking as the other one. So it's still not updated on my page. Okay, so I'm gonna get started and hopefully Facebook catches up. Remember with the transfers, there's always a little chalk transfer sticker on it. The package that you get, you should keep the package, keep the stuff in there. Someone just posted earlier that they had thrown all their plastic bags away and realized that they shouldn't have because now they don't have a way to store them because they are reusable over and over and over again. But she had thrown all of hers away. And I was like, oops, you shouldn't have done that. But she's new. So it's good to learn from other people's mistakes. And so this one you can see in the packaging, it's got like little bubbles in it. Not going to hurt it at all. Those are going to come out when I cut it and everything. So I'm just going to go ahead. So even it's a 12 by 18 thing, you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 different transfers within it. It's usually what the white line indicates. So I mean, I could just put it, I could just undo the whole thing and just do it like as is. But I'm going to separate them just because it's going to make it easier when I put the paste down. I can do one, then take it up, do the other, then take it up, and keep going from there. And then I have to decide how I want to do my lettering with it. I kind of would like to overlap it, but I'd have to wait for these transfers, the Botanicals, so in order for them to dry before I could put the letters across the top. And I'll show you what I mean before I start working with the stencils. So when I say transfer, of course, that means silkscreen mesh stencil. It's just a quick and easy way to say it. A lot of people are like, what are transfers? So really, it's just a stencil with silkscreen in it, which means that the stencil doesn't go all the way through, so you can't like poke your finger through it or anything. So what I was thinking, because it's got the mesh screen in there, that's what you want. It's what allows the paste or ink to go on evenly and not like it's too watery bleed or too clumpy, too thick. Okay, so I was thinking something like this. I was thinking of doing that at the top afterwards. This is the shorter one. Well, they're about the same height. Then I could probably put this one down a little bit, which would allow me to do that top part. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay. So now I'm just going to pick out my colors. And I'll refresh my page again and see if Facebook has caught up. Okay, so they're all different kind of leaves, but I think I want to do them in a little bit different colors. So I definitely am going to want a green. And I'll do, let's see, I'll just put lighter colors. So I've got my dune color, which is a little bit like sand. Got sage, got peachy keen, and I've got white, and the ocean mist. Those are my colors. Although I can always mix lighter colors with anything else. So, I think I just want to go with the sage for the green. That's what I'm going to go with. Just seems like it's botanical, so I'm going to go with the light green. Stir up my chalk paste, and it looks all right. Maybe a little thick, so I'm going to put a little bit of distilled water in it because it's a jar. If you're using paste packets, of course, it doesn't matter, unless you're putting the paste packets in a jar, which is usually, I mean, I think it's like a ½ ounce is in the paste packet. But I do want this to be nice and yogurty texture. It'll make it easy to spread it on. So as you can see, hopefully you can see, because my Facebook still's not cooperating. Ah, there it is. Hey, everybody who's out there. And okay, I'm gonna go. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, anybody that's out there, if you can like the video, share it, comment that you shared it. Any of that is good. If you do all 3, then you get entered in the weekly drawing. And I'm just going to try to pull this up so I can see. There we go. Okay, so Facebook is finally working for me. Okay, so I've got my like yogurt, nice creamy. The creamier it is, the easier it'll be able to spread on, but you don't want it too watery. Okay, so I've got these spaced out pretty well. So first, I'm going to fuzz up my first botanical, figure 19. They're all labeled like they would be in a science or botany book, which I took in college, and I don't know. Yeah, I like gardening and everything, but the class itself was boring. I mean, we had to do seeds, and then you had to go in lab like every other day and measure how much they've grown. Like, even if it was like a little itty bitty bit, we had to measure it and record it. It just wasn't fun. If we had just like been able to grow them and not record them, that probably would have been much more fun. So I'm just going to smooth down my transfer. And I am going to take just a clean stir stick and stick it under the edge, just because it pretty much fills the board from top to bottom, and I want to be able to make sure I can get a grip of it to get it off when I'm done. I don't want to have to dig with my fingernails, especially if you're someone who doesn't have fingernails, or if your fingernails are really long, it could cause a problem for you as well. Okay, then take my squeegee and I'm just going to start at the top and work my way down. I'm just going to do it all in the light sage green. You can put it on as thick or thin as you want, and then just push it down, because afterwards you're going to go over it and just scrape off the excess. Like, you can do what I'm doing, is scraping it down and then using the excess down below. Saves you from having to take so much out of your jar, and then scrape to clean it up. You can see here I've got like lines that I've scraped up. If you leave those lines on there, you will see the lines when you pull the transfer up. And it will make it just look not smooth. I learned that from my own mistake. I'm like, that'll be fine. And it is fine. And it'll give some texture look to it, but I like it to look nice and clean. Clean, crisp lines. All right. So I'm going to pull this one up. And it's got really fine lines in it, so I'm just going to pull it nice and slow. And it's designed to look like a textured plant, almost like a dry herb. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to throw this in my water basin to the side. That'll start to loosen up the chalk paste. All right, so that's one. Oh, I guess figure 59, 60, 61. That makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to do this one, but I'm going to move it, slide it down a little bit, because I want to put my heaven across the top. I probably wanted to do it across the bottom. I'll go with the top. That's what I already decided. Okay. So again, I'm going to grab my towel. Sorry you can't see my face at the same time. I want you to really be able to see what I'm doing. And I just cannot seem to win with this camera. I'm going to try to pop it up a little bit. Hope I don't knock everything over. Okay. Let's see if you can see me a little bit better while I'm doing this. All right. So, that'll help a little bit. These are new. They don't feel super sticky, but when I put them on the board, I could tell when I went to peel that one off, it was still really sticky. So I'm just going to give it a couple little extra fuzzes. Because it does have a small silk screen area. So it's got a lot of the sticky material on it, which even if it's not super sticky, will make it stick a little bit more than normal. And I'm just going to guess about where I want this to be. Smooth it down. And let's see, should I stick with the green color? Should I try a different light pastel color? I think I'll stick with the green. Let's see. Just gonna put it on thick again. My sage is actually starting to get a little bit low. There is a new green that they have out that it's similar but not the same. That's releasing tomorrow. It's called Pistachio. So, you know, for spring, Easter, that'll work well. And of course, if you end up, if you only want to get like a jar at first or something, go ahead and make sure you get white as one of them, because you'll love the white. But by having white, you'll be able to take any other colors and mix them together to get different shades. So I would start out, if you're just thinking of one or two, I definitely would do white and then pick like your favorite color, because you'll be able to mix it up and get different shades of the color you want, depending on how much you use of the dark and how much you use of the light. I'm just going nice and slow because I don't want to stretch the transfer. So you can see it curled a little bit at the bottom, but not really. I mean, it's really long. So that's what you want to avoid, is you don't want it to curl up, because it does have to go back on your backer. It's reusable over and over and over again. So I like so far how it's turning out. Oops, you can how well you can see it from that angle. So take a look here. Got a couple of botanicals, and I got one more to go on the end. I just kind of spaced them out. And I decided to stick with a lighter color. And what I didn't do, is this has the sawtooth hangers in the back, so you can hang it up easily. But guess what I did? My sawtooth hangers are on the bottom, so I'm not going to easily be able to hang this up. I forgot to check that. It's not the first time I've done it. I've only ever done it one other time, but I got talking and forgot. Okay, I'm going to grab my towel again and fuzz up the last botanical. So these are designed to be like pretty much if you were looking in a science book, and it gives you a demonstration of what different plants look like. That's what these are. And I'm not even going to attempt to say them. Marantibus, because I can never. So I'll just let everybody guess for themselves what they're called. I guess I could ask Alexa. Although she's been acting weird lately. She will come on And she'll just start talking and nobody's asked her anything. The house is like dead silent and all of a sudden she starts yip-yapping. I have no idea. And I made sure it was turned off so that, you know, they can't accidentally listen into you. So I made sure that option was off on mine, but I don't know. Something's going on with it. But I've heard other people's are doing the same thing, so. But she has added weird sayings. So in the morning, like, if I just ask her, like, what time it is, she'll tell me what time it is, and if it's like 6, because I've woken up early, she's like, have a nice day, or have a good morning. I'm like, I just want to go back to sleep, because it's cold out. But for work, we get to work remote every other day. And tonight, a big snowstorm's coming. So I guess, I've heard, because we live right up on the Canadian border in New York State, like way, way up. Not Buffalo, we're at the opposite end of the lake, way north. Or actually, technically north of, on the line, we're north of a lot of areas in Canada, including Toronto. But Dallas was apparently the same temperature as us today. And we didn't have snow, but they do. It was snowing there. It was funny for all people I know that move south who like to mess with us about, oh, when we get below 0 and it's so cold. That's just like totally payback for them. Okay, so do you kind of want to let that dry? I'm going to take the green out. And I usually just throw my squeegees and the stir stick once I know I'm done with them in with my other stuff in the water to loosen up the stuff on it. It just makes it super easy and quick to clean when I get done. All right, so I've got the last part I have to do is the wording for the top, which is heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. And I was going to stretch that out across the top. It's going to come really close to touching what's already there. But if I trim up the edge, it's going to be a little difficult. So let me fuzz this one up and see how close I can get it without messing up my botanicals. And the nice thing about any transfers that have words on them, you can, like if you just want heaven on something, you can add just heaven to something. You don't have to do anything else in the series. Any of the words written below it, you can use just part of those words. You can quickly and easily do it by just putting painter's tape on it and blocking off what you don't want. That way that you don't accidentally put something on, especially if you're using like ink. This is going to be really close. So I'm going to try to put down just a little bit of backer, just so that when it does go down, I don't want it, I want to try to keep it from touching my botanical, because being that it's still wet, when I pull up the transfer, it'll pull the chalk paste up from the botanical, which I don't want to happen. I'm going to put it as close as I can. Now, if these were dry, if I waited like 5 minutes or so and let these dry, it would be fine. I could put this right down on top of it and then pull it up and it's not going to pull the chalk paste up. But being that it's still wet, it's going to pull it up. Okay, and I think I'm going to do this in my peachy keen. Just to add a little bit of color to it, but it's still light. Or should I do brighter? Oh, I could do a bright yellow. Stir up my chalk paste again. And it looks good. I'm going to give it a little water. I'm going to get one of the bigger sprayers so that when I spray it, I only have to spray it once. Oh, good luck on your quiz, Melissa. She's working, doing chalk stuff like this, and going to school pretty much full time, so I don't know how she's doing it. Okay, so with This is the Daffodil, which is a bit on the pastel range for yellow, which I've used quite a bit. And I'm just going to go over the letters. With the paste, you can go up and down or side to side. You can do both directions. If you're using the ink, you only want to go in one direction. Because you really want to make sure those transfers, because they're usually on cloth. And hopefully you have an ink mat that's a little bit sticky that helps it stay in place while you're putting stuff on it. The ink mats should be back in stock this week. Actually, I think they might be restocking tomorrow. Tomorrow the new paste launches, the new colors. So 2 shimmers, the melon and the splash, which is in the blue range. And then in the pastel range, Pistachio, Golden Hour, and Tulip, which are a little bit like red, yellow, and green. All right, so let me pull this up and hopefully, okay. Oop. I didn't get the, so good thing was not throwing my stuff in the water yet. I can grab this again. You can see that the S on the end here, I didn't push down really hard on it. I'll make sure I get it on this end too. All right, try to pull it up again. Good thing is, especially with letters, pull it up slowly, because you can see, the sooner you see that something started to dry on you, or you didn't push down hard enough, like that one on the S, I was trying to be really careful about the edge because of the chalk paste still being wet. There we go. Okay. That, and throw this in my water. All right. So that didn't take me too long, like 20 minutes from start to finish. And it was a C size transfer. So usually when you're first starting out, you just want to start with A, which is a half sheet of paper. B is a full size paper. You work your way to that. Don't be in a hurry to go up higher than that. So here we go. So this is from the Botanicals Collection, and I do have another one coming that's lilac. It's I think it's the same size. I think it's in the C size range. I'd have to double check, but I'll show that one once I get it. Okay. So I think it looks pretty good. My letters fit on there. Put it to the side to dry, somewhere where the cats can't get it. That was my big project for tonight. I wasn't sure it was only going to take me 20 minutes to do, but that's pretty good. I do have, so I did an order from a store that I've never ordered from, the Beware store, just to see, because they had some like really cheap prices. So I wanted to see what their material and stuff was like. If, you know, sometimes with cheap prices, it's because the material is not very good. So that box came in as well when I got my FedEx Sunday delivery. So I was just starting to open it today. And so for like a couple bucks, I got like 10 masks. They were pink because they're just what's at the end of their line, but geez, they're nicer and thicker than the ones work gives us. They're like really thick material. It almost feels like sweatshirt material. Sweet. So I know that I'll be able to use all different ones, but like especially the little mini transfers on them if I want. So if anybody wants one, let me know. I have the ink in all the different colors and I will use ink on them, so it will be permanent. But yeah, these are nice and thick. I can't believe how thick they are. 100% cotton. Awesome. Melissa, if you look, let me know if you want some. I got 10 of them. I did notice that I ordered a couple sweatshirts too. So I ordered a couple sweatshirts, a couple t-shirts, tank top, just so I could see what the quality is to decide if I want to order more. So this ideally is going to be a baseball one for Mason's team, because he's got fluorescent green colors on his well, it's called Next Level, is the team he's on down south. So that's in. So this is I think this is an extra large, it said. And it's a thin material, which for down south is good because even when it's not hot down there, it's hot. So that'd be good. So I got a couple of these and a t-shirt the same color. Somebody be able to put his baseball stuff on. Oh yeah, there's the sticker. So this is an extra large. What else did I grab? Oh yeah, they even had some polo shirts. So figured for maybe Dad and Scott, the polo shirts would go well. And I can always put a little design on them so that they can look nicer. They're pretty thick. They're pretty thick. Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, this was like, I have to look, I think this was $3. It's a polo shirt. So Beware, B-W-E-A-R, is, I saw it advertised on Facebook, and I'd seen other wears, and other people had mentioned in a chalk group that they got stuff from there, and that's what they used to find like good deals on shirts and stuff to ink them. And they did have some that were more designed as baseball shirts. Those were a little more expensive. I think they were like $7 or $8. Still not bad for a shirt. So let me see what the quality is. They're not paper thin. Pretty good. This is an extra large, so it looks like it's about the right sizing. Awesome. Logan's team colors are basically red, white, and has blue in it as well, but mostly red and white. Awesome. So we will get into starting to do more ink stuff for a little while, because I've got these shirts to do. And I do have one, so probably the first one I'll do is one that says Wife, Mom, Boss, because I know that that's going to be pretty popular. So I'll probably just do that in a t-shirt to start with and go from there. I haven't gotten my ink mat from Couture yet because they're just getting restocked this week. They've been out because of that delay at the ports in Los Angeles, the traffic jam in the ocean they've got going there. Because of that. So what I'm going to do is pull out one of my Cricut mats, which has got sticky on it, because what it'll do is it'll hold the material that I'm inking in place. So it'll hold it nice and flat for me. Because otherwise, trying to put a transfer on it when it's all like that, it's, you know, when you peel it off, it's going to move around and stuff. By sticking it down, it'll help. I mean, if I had somebody here to hold it, I guess it'd be okay. Still better to be sticky, because you never know. You got to rely on that other person. All right. Wow. Today was a quick night, and I thought it was going to be a long one. I have a whole bunch of my surfaces out that I'm going to clean. I better double check the t-shirt material. I have a whole bunch of things out that I'm going to clean and then start using the new transfers on them. So this was one of the $1.99 t-shirts. And it was just like they had unpopular colors like gray. But I mean, it's a lightweight shirt. It's a Jersey's one. It's lightweight. It's not see-through. Perfect for summer. So I think I'm going to have to go on tonight and order some more. They were only $1.99. And their shipping didn't cost a lot either. I was like shocked. So I think I found the company that I'll be ordering the clothing from. I do also have aprons, reusable grocery like shopping bags, things like that to try to ink on. So I think that'll be it for tonight. And tomorrow night we will ink. We will ink. The colors I have are, so if you want to make a suggestion on what you'd like to see, let me know. Whoever suggests it, that's just the direction I'll go in. If there's something you want to specifically see me do. So we've got Current Jam, which is like a raspberry kind of color. The Regal, which is the purple. And we got Bumblebee Yellow. What is this? Black Velvet. Did I order? I already had a black. Oh. Alright, so I must have ordered a second black in case anybody wanted to buy one. I'm going to keep stuff in stock for me because lately Couture has been having some shipping delays. So I hate waiting for shipping. I'm just so used to Amazon's 2-day shipping. Got Meadow. So I'm going to try to keep stuff in stock. Ocean Mist, that was the one that had been opened. Candy Apple and Papaya. So these. Oh, I also have white ink. Ah! I need to find something to be able to store it in. So these are the color for ink that I have. So anything that you think I should do, go ahead and suggest. Like my video, share it, comment it, that you shared it to get entered in the weekly drawing. And the first person to catch me on a live and do it will automatically get a free gift, plus get entered in the weekly drawing. So, all right. The Candy Apple Red looks really red. So I'm just going to quickly compare. Like I have a Candy Apple in the paste. And then this is the Candy Apple in the ink. So it's really can't see a difference in it. I really can't see a difference. So they are true to color, which is good. Aw, Lucy, you sneezed. Okay, so I guess I will sign off and clean up this mess. Well, I guess I could, while I'm on here, I could easily clean up my transfers and get those done out of the way and hang out in case anybody has any questions or pops on a little late. Let's see. So a lot of the yellow has already come off the heaven, and I'm just going to wipe the rest of it off. When the transfer is nice and soaking wet like this, it comes off a lot easier. Unlike the nights, like last night when I did it and I didn't have my water bin out here, it just didn't come off as easily. One side. Always do the non-sticky side first and then do the sticky side afterwards, and then dry it. Set it out to dry with sticky side up. I'm probably definitely going to run out of room up here. Yep. There we go. Usually the stir sticks and the squeegees I just take over to the sink and run them under water with my hand. It's just easy. Alright, so this one looks like it's pretty much all cleaned, except for a little bit of paste around the edge, which is where I scraped it all off to. You're not too worried about the green areas. What you really want to make sure is clean is the silk screen area where the mesh that you're pushing the chalk through. If you're ever not sure, because this one has a lot of fine lines and leaves and details, if you can see all that in there, just want to make sure that you're getting the chalk out of there. Otherwise, the next time you go to use it, you will get areas that don't get chalk on it, and to figure out what it is, and you lift it up and like, oh, why do I have orange in there when I just used yellow? Because you didn't clean it out well the last time you used it. Those are little trial and error things that you'll learn along the way. But some people have said that they don't really care to make them themselves. And you could just tell me what you want. So that's why I'm like demoing all the different ones I have, because I can do them on really any surface or clothing or wood. Once I start making like the welcome door leaners, and there's like a Bless Our Home one, which is huge. That's like I think it's an E size transfer, which is the biggest they have. But these are coming out nice and easily clean after soaking in the water. with the larger transfers, the nice thing about the ones that cut apart, as you can see, it makes it easier. We do it one section at a time instead of pulling the whole huge thing up. That's why I said some of them, if you, even with the B-size ones, if you want, you can cut them up. And honestly, if you like go to eBay and look at ones that people are selling that are used, a lot of people cut them. And not in good places. And usually from the used ones, because I went out there thinking, oh, I could probably get to start out some easy cheap ones off eBay, and no, they were expensive because every 6 months or so a new catalog comes out and they retire some. So then people put them on eBay and jack up the price, even though they're used ones. Okay, so this is all clean, and it is. I'm just gonna leave these on here to dry. And yeah, I'm gonna use 2 colors tonight. So 1. 2. If anybody is watching, on my Facebook page for ADNER247, I have I started to add, and they're still in the process of proving it, but putting up direct links to the kits on the website, so you can just click on it to get to it, because I know maneuvering the Couture website at first can be confusing, understanding like what a B-size transfer is, C-size transfer is, where are the kits. I mean, they're under kits in the menu, but I think they need to improve on their website a little bit. I mean, it is a great website and it encompasses everything, but to somebody who's new to the brand, it can be overwhelming at first. I know I got a little frustrated at first and was like, I don't know what all this stuff is, or what design to pick, or what size to pick, and didn't understand the sizes, or A, B, C, D, E, all that stuff. All right, I am going to sign off. If anybody wants to get an invite to my VIP group, which is the private group, because I can't post publicly if anything that's a sale, and I also post reminders about other things, but it's specifically for customers. Whereas the ADNER247 group that this group is in is a public group. Just one of the little differences. All right, I'm signing off for tonight. Let me know if you have any questions. Send me a message if you don't want to post it in the group. And everybody have a good Sunday night. Hopefully you are Monday night. And hopefully the snowstorm misses you, or you're not too cold. We'll see. I'll see what I wake up to in the morning. All right, night everyone.